ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cage Match. My name is Kevin Jackwitz, and we're going to look at AEW Dynamite for 11/27/19. You start out with Soul Train Jones. Many of you know him as Virgil in the old WWE. He comes out and introduces Chris Jericho, and it's a big Chris Jericho thank you day. The Inner Circle is out there, of course, until the SCU interrupt and drive the Inner Circle out. It was very cool. They had a lot of humor with this bit. So it was a cool way to open. Chris Jericho, what can you say, man? He's just good at it. That's the long and short of it. After that, you get Best Friends with Orange Cassidy versus the Lucha Brothers. Really surprising here because I figured it was going to be a good match. Trent Beretta, really good. I like Chuck Taylor. Lucha Brothers, insanely talented. But that's kind of why I surprised. Because they went with Best Friends. Best Friends got the win over the Lucha Brothers, and I did not expect that. Especially after what they've been doing with the Lucha Brothers as of late. So it was a really good match with kind of a surprise ending. Very cool. After that, you get Bea Priestley and Emi Sakura, who has got this weird gimmick now. Like, she wants to be the lead singer of Queen, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. But they take on Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. And a good match. Nothing really to say. It didn't really strike me as anything that stuck out. But it was entertaining. At the end of the day, Bea Priestley and Emi Sakura won. And I just don't get her gimmick. I'm not a fan of that at all. After that, you get a Jon Moxley promo. Essentially saying no one is safe from him. Then you get Cody versus Matt Nix. Matt Nix was an absolute local nobody as far as I can tell. So that was really interesting to see Cody in a match like that. Then he cuts a promo, and as he's cutting the promo, he gets interrupted. This dude comes out of the ring. They call him the Blade. Another guy pops out of the ring. They call him the Butcher. And then Allie, who we've seen a few times, pops out of the ring in this new gimmick with a bunny suit, and they call her the Bunny. Honestly, to me, this was the one part where AEW, since its inception, has really dropped the ball. This whole thing was really awkward. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. So, yeah, that's going to be a point down for sure for AEW this week because I just felt like it was very clunky. And then you get Pac versus Kenny Omega, which, of course, is going to be a highlight on anybody's show. So very, very good match. And they look like they're finally trying to build up Kenny Omega and actually give him some wins. So that's cool. So he goes over Pac. Both of those guys really showed out in this match. What more can you say? Then you get MJF with Wardlow versus Adam Page. This is that whole diamond ring battle royal that leads into this match. And so Adam Page versus MJF. It was a good match. Of course, Wardlow gets involved at points. MJF does take the win. Diamond Dallas Page comes out, starts talking a bunch of trash to MJF, but does give him the ring. After that, Dustin Rhodes comes out. He starts jaw-jacking with MJF. The Inner Circle comes out. They start tearing down Dustin Rhodes, and then the Young Bucks come out to drive out the Inner Circle again. So that whole succession. Then you get another Dark Order package where they're, trying to enlist people into the Dark Order now. It's pretty cool packages. I like it. It's unique. It's different. So it's cool. After that, you get a Young Bucks promo. They're talking about Inner Circle, of course, and they got a match coming up with them. So there you go. Scorpio Sky versus Chris Jericho with, of course, Jake Hager and SCU are going to be involved in the match. You already know that. Scorpio Sky beat Chris Jericho last week, so he got a match with him this week by default. Very cool. Exactly what you would expect. A lot of villain stuff coming from Chris Jericho's side. Jake Hager getting involved. SCU does wind up helping out. But at the end of the day, Chris Jericho does get the win, retains. And then the big story here is Jon Moxley comes through the crowd and just kind of like hangs halfway down the staircase and just stares at Chris Jericho. So that's kind of where they leave off with Jon Moxley and Jericho staring at each other. It was another really good episode of AEW. Unfortunately, well, we know from the ratings, they definitely suffered from Thanksgiving, but also not just that. That Cody Rhodes was the first thing I can say really didn't make a whole lot of sense. And because you got one guy on commentary, he's like, hey, it's the Blade, it's the Butcher, and this. And that's all you get. You know nothing about them. And he asks, Jim Ross asks him again, who are they? And he just repeats the names. It was just kind of didn't make sense. So it was still very strong, though. I am going to give it a slight knock. I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10. Still a very strong show. Really liked most of it. Had some amazing matches. Hawk, Omega, how can you go wrong, honestly? So yeah, man, it was overall a very good show. I just think that I don't know what they were thinking, but it just didn't work for me with the whole Cody